Welcome back. If you remember from the last video, we had to stop painting because of the colour difference between the tub that I painted originally and then the cab that I painted with another bottle of that Raptor. While I wait for the new paint to turn up, I thought I'd have a go at getting something else done, and that something else is getting these wide flared arches that I bought, all prepped and ready to go on the car. Now, I've never fitted anything like this before, so I might get it wrong. I'm hoping I don't make a massive mess of it. What I've done so far is I've drilled out the little pockets to take some bolts, and then I've held it up roughly where I think it should go on the truck, and I marked and drilled a small pilot hole. What I'm going to do now is drill that hole out to 7mm, which is just a bit bigger than the bolt's 6mm, and then I'm going to put it on there and see what it looks like. I'm actually going to drill a hole in the bodywork now, so hopefully I won't make a massive mess of it. Right, that's that done. On the back of the arch here, because these are fiberglass, what I've done is I've put a bolt through, a hex bolt through with a washer, another washer and a nut on the back. So this now can't move in there. And that should go like that onto the bodywork. And then I'll put a nut onto the back. If I can reach it. Yeah, I can just about reach it. So I'm gonna thread a nut onto the back, and then I'm gonna level this up so it looks about right, and then I'll mark and drill the rest of the holes. Okay, so let's get there, and then maybe I'll get one of these in first, because if I try and line this side up, it's going to move this side about, and then the holes will be out of alignment. So I think the best thing to do is get one side drilled up first. This drill doesn't actually grip the bits very well because the chuck comes off. When you try and tighten it too much, you end up turning the whole collar and then the chuck falls off. Right. So a little test fit. Ooh. The holes are a little bit touch and go really. So that's what it's going to look like with it in place. Obviously it's not fully bolted up yet, but you get kind of an idea. Right, this is one of those times where I'm going to kind of ask the audience a bit really. These are hollow and they're fiberglass, so they're not massively strong. So what I thought about doing is buying some of that pouring foam and pouring it in there, kind of filling that up, not all the way to here because I think some of that sits into here. So maybe from there up to this lip with that expanded foam, just to give it a bit more strength. Not the stuff you get in a squirty can from Screwfix, but the stuff you pour in, it's like liquid, just pour it in there and then it goes and fills that up. What do you guys think about me doing that. If you've got an opinion on it and you think it's a good idea, then what we'll do is we'll take them off and I'll do it. So let me know in the comments below whether you think that's a really good idea or whether you think it's bloody dumb. Moving on. Right, here goes nothing trying to get it on. It's like a tricky little jigsaw puzzle. That's not too bad at all, actually. Oh, there we go. Right. So what do you think, guys? I mean, ignore the wheels at the moment because they're obviously ridiculously undersized. But how does that look? I don't think that looks too bad at all. Now that I've had a test fit and everything fits up nicely, I'm going to just go over these holes with a little tiny bit of Raptor that I've knocked up in this part. Doesn't have to be super neat because you're not going to see any of this, it's all behind the arches, but I do want to rust protect these holes, so I'm going to hit that a bit with plenty of this paint. Just knocked up a tiny little amount with some hardener, just in order to make sure there's no raw metal. Holy shit. Fuck me. Wow. You probably didn't see that, but the whole gazebo just took off then. Luckily I was only a couple of feet away and I managed to come out and grab it, but I'm gonna have to stick some bags of sand around these feet or something to stop it taking off. This is crazy, this weather. This is June and it is so windy. Right, I'm well pleased with how that looks actually. The wheels make it look a little bit over the top, but once I get bigger wheels on there with a slightly different offset, I think they'll look right tasty. That's one done. Now 3 more to do. Let's try and get this up inside there so you might better see it. It's not too bad from a wheel clearance perspective. Hopefully that's not gonna strike that. I mean, it shouldn't do. That should go up and down just there. So as long as I don't go massive wheels, we should be all right. Right, so I got this arch all bolted up, ready to go now. I've had to stick this down, this little bit of edge trim, because where it's curving around it was kind of kinking up in certain places. So I stuck it down with a bit of Evo stick, and that's really held it in there nicely. And then round here, where it curves round the back of the tub, I've put some polyurethane sealant in the gap and stuck it to it, and that should really, once it's gone off, that should hold that nice and tight, because that stuff is pretty good for holding things in place. I measured from this bolt to the top of the tub there, and then used that measurement to come around this side and temporarily tape this one on. I've now marked all the holes out where it needs to go. I've checked to make sure the fuel flap still opens, because it's really tight in on that, and it's tight against the back of the tub there again, same as it is the other side. And obviously once I've bolted it up, I'll do the same with the polyurethane down that side. So now what I'm going to do is get the holes drilled and get it bolted up.